Hi Earthlings, I'm Trice. Have you been struggling with self-doubt? Do you feel like you're always questioning if you're going in the right direction? Should I do this? Should I do that? Well, fear not. I got you covered. And I'm going to share with you the magical formula of how to ask the universe for a sign and receive it and know that it's a sign. It's not just a penny on the street. If you want to get rich the easy way, download my free map on how to think rich. Money is a thinking game. It's not a labor game. Change your thoughts, change your financial reality. The universe is trying to talk to you all the frickin' time. Now, if this is hard for you to swallow, simply pretend, suspend judgment. How do you think children learn? Like the ABCs, for example. When you tell them it goes A, B, C, do you hear them saying, no? Why does A go in the first spot? Why does it go in the last spot? They simply just accept what you're saying as gospel. And the older we get, the more defensive and rational our mind becomes, and it pushes out this information. So you have nothing to lose, right? You could go back to living in self-doubt and questioning yourself, or you could pretend and take a leap of faith and give it a try. When you have nothing to lose and only something magical to gain, well, those are great odds. So if the universe is trying to talk to you all the frickin' time, why can't you hear it? It is because of our attachment to our current story. When you are so caught up in your current story, and it's usually something when you're very emotional about it, it's hard to see another perspective. And I'll give you an example. I was working with my husband. I always wanted to work with my husband. I just thought it'd be magical and lovey-dovey for us to build our fortunes together. And then he fired me. So I was pouting on my couch, and I got over the fact that he fired me or didn't want to work with me pretty quickly. And I realized why I wanted to work together is because I wanted to make a lot of money. That was my intention. So I was just sitting there on the couch, and then I got a sign from the universe that said, I think housing prices are going up. Let me look into that. Fast forward through the whole story. You can watch it here. I made $247,000 of profit on the sale and forced depreciation of that apartment. And it was only because I was not dwelling in the perspective of, woe is me, my husband doesn't like me, how could he not see my genius? So to be able to see the signs of the universe, you have to loosen the death grip of the story that you're telling yourself about a certain situation. And how you can do this is by pretending that everything always works out for you. So if something bad happens to you, pretend, hey, this is a good thing. What happened? I was watching this talk about signs from the universe, a TED talk. I'll leave it in the description below. And essentially the lady got in a car accident, and she took it as a positive sign from the universe. Even as she was being wheeled away from the crash, she had her whole body MRI scanned, and they found a spot on her lung. It turned out to be cancerous, stage 1. If she hadn't had the car accident, she wouldn't have seen the spot. And it's so easy to connect these dots after the story has already unfolded. However, you can't hear the sign from the universe if you can't detach from the original story. Now, how do you know what a sign is and a figment of your imagination? This next step will tell the two apart. Signs are personal. They will speak to your heart and your heart only. I tell you this as a warning because if you are like me, I seek scientific data. I want to know. I want to have a body of evidence. And so sometimes I share my signs with other people. And when I start talking about it, all the magic falls apart and it looks like total rubbish. Because the universe is speaking to you in a language that you can understand. Let me give you an example. My doorman, I made a video about him here always winning the lottery, and this man always wins the lottery. He just won $500, and he was telling me the story on how he remembered in a flash that it was his 39th anniversary. And so he thought that was magical and special and ran out and played that number and won $500. Only to realize that it was not his 39th wedding anniversary, it was his 40th. Now, when he was telling me this story, to me it just looks like he was confused and got lucky. However, this happens to him over and over and over. And in his mind, he feels that flash, that confidence that this is the winning number. It's something that I cannot see from the outside. So if you want to build faith, practice asking the universe questions. I have been doing this, and one, it's just freakishly fun. It feels like you're not alone. You have a whole league of superheroes championing you to your dreams. And also, it doesn't take very long to get the answer, so you can repeatedly ask questions. Well, which brings me to the hardest part of it all. Be the universe. That sounds a little bit more woo-woo than it is. What I mean by that is the universe is all around us and inside of us. And have you ever felt that feeling where you look at something, a flower, the sky, the clouds, the rain, and you are in incredible awe of it? It's in those moments that you are connecting to the oneness of the universe. So to ask your question to the universe, it is so much simpler if you already feel connected with the oneness. It's kind of like you're tuned into that channel. And so it's simpler to do than it sounds. You just think of something that makes you happy. I was thinking, my daughter likes to play T, she's 2, and she always goes, more, and it breaks my heart with cuteness. It's just something that lights me up and instantly puts a smile on my face when I replay that memory in my mind. So I'm sure you have some memories like that, or you could just look around in your environment and think of something that you're so grateful for. Lately, I have been really grateful for indoor plumbing. It's cold, it's winter. Who wants to go outside and go to the bathroom outside? And when my dad was growing up as a kid, he lived on a farm and they had an outhouse. That's just one generation ago. So I've been feeling very incredibly lucky. Once you feel this connection, you don't have to milk it and amplify it. You can jump right into the next step. Ask the universe your question, and this can be the hardest part. I wrote down a detailed map of what your question has to consist of. The first thing that it really needs is it has to be something you really want the answer to. I know that seems obvious, but that is kind of like the ping that you will be able to feel it, because signs are subjective. So you need something with some power or some energy that lights up your heart and says, aha. Then the phrasing of the question is important. It needs to be specific. Because remember, these signs are coming in all different shapes or sizes. So the more specific our question, the easier it is to hear the answer. I'll give you an example of my question. What is the next best step for me to live in unlimited financial abundance? And I'll tell you the answer that showed up even before I stopped scripting this video yesterday. So magical. Once you formulate your question, you want to write it down and say it out loud. You can do one or the other. I prefer to do both. And you want to ask the universe for a clear, specific sign, not one of those wishy-washy, I'm reading between the lines signs. And you want to tell the universe when you want it to show up. I use 24 hours or less. The more I start doing this, I'm actually starting to do it in 5 hours or less, because the shorter the time period, it seems to be more effective. I don't know why. And now I'm going to show you what showed up for me, giving me clarity, peace of mind, and a clear sign that abundance is rolling in. When you get your answer, when you get your sign, stop everything that you're doing. Sit down and give thanks and gratitude that you hear the sign. I was prepping for this video and I thought, oh my gosh, it would be so fun to play the experiment. Let me ask a question, and by the time I'm done scripting this video, will my answer show up? So I will read you my exact question and show you the signs that showed up. It might not look like a hill of beans to you, but wow. What's my next best step to living in unlimited financial freedom? Then about 30 minutes later, I was walking into my office, and I'll take you in there, it's teeny, and on the floor was a pot of gold. It had already been there. It was a sticker my daughter had been playing with. And I had the inspiration to take the pot of gold and stick it on my vision board. And it fit perfectly. It looks like I designed the vision board that way. There's the pot of gold. It was on my floor. This gave me the sign that I am on the right path. I am doing everything I need to get my dreams. Now, I don't know if I was able to convey how incredibly freeing that was, because signs are so personal, but it gave me evidence that I was clearly on the right track. I did not have to question myself or doubt myself and say, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm smart enough to do this. So when that happens, and it will happen for you, sit down and give gratitude and thanks to those invisible beings that are playing with you and flowing with you. So January's coming to a close. Look at those birds. Oh, that's so beautiful. That is one of the things that I'm talking about, of like, feeling the flow of the universe. So January is coming to a close, and February is almost here. And I have a secret to tell you. February is one of Trice's favorite months. It is her 10th year wedding anniversary. She got married on February 11th. And it's one of my favorite months because it's Valentine's Day. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it is really just the celebration of love with hearts, candy, and sprinkles and glitter. So I wanted to give you a Valentine's Day present. Leave in the comments below some kind of video that you would like to see in the law of attraction category, and I will create the highest voted one. Until next time, ciao.